Cold, elegant, and beautiful. A spirit who glides across bone-chilling snow, wearing a stark-white kimono, she freezes anyone who crosses her path. Japanese folklore tells many stories about this spirit, about the Yuki Onna, the Snow Lady. But in the Pokemon world, similar stories are told. When it finds humans or Pokemon it likes, it freezes them and then takes them to its chilly den, where they become decorations. The lore connecting Froslass to Yuki Onnas have always been quite evident. But what about Mega Froslass? Is there more lore, inspiration, and intriguing design choices hidden in the layers of the icy kimono? In this video, we will explore the cultural origins of Froslass and its brand new Mega Evolution from Pokemon Legends ZA. We will be looking at how Froslass pulls inspiration from Japan's winter tales, kimono styling, and old yokai myth. Starting with Snorunt's origins, Glalie's large demon face, and finally ending with the Snow Bride herself, we will reveal the old tales behind Pokemon's most elegant ghost Pokemon. Our journey to Mega Froslass begins with Snorunt, with the Japanese name Yuki Warashi, Yuki meaning snow and Warashi meaning child. In fact, the word Warashi is a dialect word used primarily in the Tohoku region of Japan. While there is no complete region from the mainline games based on Tohoku, we do have Kitakami, which is based on the Iwate prefecture of the Tohoku region, so it makes sense that Snowrunts can be found in Kitakami. But the fact that Snorunt and its first evolution Glalie were introduced in the Gen 3 games, Ruby and Sapphire, in the Hoenn region, based on Kyushu, Japan, means that the Snorunt line began its journey very far away from its inspirational home. Snorunt draws its inspiration from several sources: the yokai Yukinko, spirit snow children who live in the northern areas of Japan. Yukinko are often associated with Yuki Onna, thought to be their children. In fact, one famous folklore tale warns about meeting a woman holding her child surrounded by snow. The woman will ask, "Please hold my child for a moment." If you take the child, it will grow heavier and heavier. Unable to put the child down, you will eventually perish, surrounded by heavy snow. But that's not the only yokai which Snorunt draws inspiration from, the other being Sashiki Warashi, the spirits of young children who inhabit homes. Having a Sashiki Warashi in your home is thought to bring good fortune. In fact, several Pokédex entries also speak of Snorunt bringing luck in the same way. From here we take a brief detour to the other optional evolution of Snorunt, Glalie. Glalie's Japanese name is Onigori, derived from the words Oni, meaning Japanese demon, and Kori, meaning ice. Like Snorunt, although less obvious as there are no clear references in the Pokédex entries, going purely off visual and location, Glalie also gains its inspiration from yokai, the most obvious being Japanese Oni. Unlike a certain other beloved Oni Pokemon with a cute face, most Onis are known to have one hell of a mean mug. In particular, Glalies are likely influenced by the Namahage, an Oni-like yokai that live in the northern areas of Japan such as Tohoku, placing it once again around Kitakami in the Pokemon world, despite first appearing in Gen 3's Hoenn. Another likely source of inspiration is Tsurube Otoshi, basically giant head yokai. They are known to be mean-spirited and cruel. They are said to drop down onto unexpected prey and then eat them. And although it is a little bit vague, some Pokédex entries for Glalie also mention how they eat their prey. Now we finally arrive at Froslass, known as Yukimenoko in Japanese. This name carries quite a lot of importance. As we already know from Snorunt's Japanese name, Yuki means snow. Meanwhile, the word Menoko means woman in the Ainu language, the Ainu being the indigenous ethnic people of Hokkaido, the inspiration of Pokemon's Sinnoh and Hisui region. Froslass is heavily and clearly inspired by possibly one of the most renowned and popular yokai, Yuki Onna. Yuki Onna are ice spirit yokai, often beautiful women wearing white kimonos surrounded by snow. While stories of Yuki Onna are found in many snowy regions of Japan, they are especially prevalent in the Tohoku region, and with Froslass making its debut in Gen 4 Sinnoh, at least it's a little bit closer with the inspiration of Sinnoh, Hokkaido, being just above Tohoku, not to mention that Hokkaido itself is famous for its heavy snowfall. Additionally, as mentioned just a little bit earlier, the use of the Ainu word menoko also nicely ties Froslass to Hokkaido and Sinnoh. Yuki Onna are said to prey on lost hikers and travelers on snowy Alps, freezing them and taking them home to their den. Even Froslass Pokédex entries say something similar. However, it's not uncommon for Yuki Onna to fall in love with the men they find on the mountains. Rather than ending their life, sometimes they find a way to marry and live together with the humans they have fallen in love with, all without the human knowing what they truly are, until it's too late. In particular, there is one famous folklore story that is actually retold in Pokemon Legends almost exactly. A Yuki Onna finds two men, an older woodcutter and a younger man. She finishes the older man with a single breath of chilly air, but decides to spare the younger man under the promise that he will never speak of her. Years pass by and the young man is married to a beautiful woman, and they even have children together. But over time, he began to see a resemblance between his never-aging wife and the Yuki Onna he had encountered many years prior. Foolishly, he told his wife about this. Angrily, she revealed herself to be that Yuki Onna. But she decided to spare his life once more, despite him breaking his promise. But not for him, but for the sake of their children. Before she disappears again, a new promise is made, or more so a threat. You shall never harm the children, or I will return and... The similarities in this folklore tale and the story told in Pokemon Legends Arceus makes me believe that the two Snorunt encountered in this side quest are the children born from the Froslass and the man. However, the Pokédex entry for Pokemon Moon does point towards a possible second yokai influence, what you could call a cousin yokai of the Yuki Onna, the Surara Onna, the icicle woman, a beautiful woman brought to life from an icicle. One very important detail in Froslass's design is that the kimono they wear seem to be, or at the very least resemble, a furisode. Furisodes are a special kimono with long sleeves. They are worn by young and married women, primarily on special occasions. And the reason why the type of kimono Froslass wears is important to take note of is because upon Mega Evolution, the Furisode kimono undergoes a transformation to become a Hanayome Issho, a bridal kimono ensemble. Hanayome Issho are usually the most extravagant, elegant and beautiful kimono most women will ever wear, as you would expect to match the occasion. The all-white of the kimono resembles a shirumuku, an all-white wedding kimono which is worn to represent purity, whereas the length of the kimono and the snow hem resembles what's called a uchikake, part of a bridal kimono which has the feature of a trailing padded hem. Even the fact that Mega Froslass's kimono appears to have several layers is also common for bridal wear. Unlike Froslass, the kimono worn by Mega Froslass also has the long furisode sleeves. And while standard bridal sets, excluding Iro Uchikake, which are colourful versions, tend to be stark white, occasionally some do have minimal designs or colouring, most commonly by the hem of the Uchikake, like the snowflakes on Mega Froslass's Uchikake. And while at first glance, the white hair-like feature behind Mega Froslass resembles a western bridal veil, even this and the shape of Mega Froslass's head could be a nod towards either the wataboshi or sukuno kakushi. These bridal headwear pieces were originally traditionally worn to hide a bride's hairline, although it's also said that they were worn to hide a bride's horns of jealousy, anger and ego, so the bride would be calm and happy in the marriage. But considering that Mega Froslass's horns are even more prominent than regular Froslass, it seems like she might be a bit of a bridezilla. Overall, while not an exact copy of Hanayome Issho ensembles, There are more than enough key points and features to say that Mega Froslass's design was heavily influenced and likely intended to resemble a Hanayomi Issho. And the way it ties in with the story from Pokemon Legends Arceus is too solid to ignore. But I've also seen some people theorize that due to the elongated body of Mega Froslass, that the design might draw inspiration from a second female yokai, the Taka Onna. While I understand the theory based on the elongated body, I think that was mostly done in order to further increase the elegance of the kimono. It's my personal belief that the folklore of Taka Onna do not suit anything and everything we know about Froslass. Taka Onna are female yokai with a long body. They use this elongated body of theirs to peep into the second floor windows of adult entertainment establishments. They are said to be unpleasing to the eye and had never been with a man in their lifetime. They grow jealous watching what they never had. The lore of Taka Onna and the perceived beauty of Froslass don't seem to fit together. But overall, Mega Froslass's design is beautifully intricate and ties back to the story told in Pokemon Legends Arceus perfectly, bringing in aspects of real-world kimono to give us an elegant snow bride in the form of Mega Froslass. But please let me know, what do you think of Mega Froslass's design? Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. If you did enjoy this video, please do hit that like button and subscribe. And do share this video with your friends. It all really helps a lot. Also, please do consider checking out some of my other deep dives into Pokemon connections to real-life Japanese history, culture, and yokai folklore, as well as any of my other content. But for now, until next time, bye bye, mata ne!